Hey guys, welcome back to Drinks with Danny and Joe. I'm Danny.
And I'm Joe.
Today we are doing the Yard of Flannel.
Yes, the Yard of Flannel.
Yep, the origin of this drink is, let's see here. So the Yard of Flannel is a hot spiced eggnog drink that gets its name from the viscous string. Viscous? Probably viscous.
Probably viscous.
Viscous string that used to connect the vessels used to make it. But the cool thing is this was a very popular drink with the coachmen back in the colonial days. So bartenders would hand it to them in yard-long glasses.
Yeah. You ever been to like Mardi Gras or one of those festivals where you can drink on the street and they have beer in those like waist-high glasses?
Well,
they call them whale bones.
Don't they usually have it to where you can wear it around your neck?
Yeah, a lot of times.
Yeah.
Imagine drinking this in one of those, because that's what they're giving them. It's like a pint glass, but 3 feet tall.
Yeah, it's. I think it's definitely going to be an interesting drink.
It is 2 pints of ale. You heat that over low heat, and then we did it in the pitcher. It says do it in a separate bowl, but we did it in a pitcher, in a blender.
Yeah.
So you add 4 ounces of amber rum. We used Captain Morgan because we don't have amber rum.
It's spiced rum.
Yeah, we used a spiced rum. 3 ounces of superfine sugar. We used
simple syrup.
A half teaspoon of ground nutmeg, a half teaspoon of cinnamon or ginger. We used cinnamon, and then 4 eggs. And then we just blended that up in the blender. And then once it was blended and the ale was heated, we used Highland Gaelic ale. It's supposed to be a not hoppy ale. So you can't use like an IPA or any real modern ale that's got a lot of hops in it. It's got to be like an old English ale. Gaelic ale from Highland Brewery is a good one, or Newcastle Brown Ale would probably work fine. Once you blend it all up, then you slowly pour the hot beer into the pitcher, and then I just pulsed it occasionally to keep it from...
like separating.
What's that? Curdling.
Oh, yeah, that too, because you don't want the eggs to curdle.
Yeah.
This is essentially kind of like a beer nog.
Yeah, beer nog.
Beer nog.
It basically replaces the cream in eggnog with beer.
Okay, so are we...
Let's give it a try.
I'm going to stir it, so you're going to hear me stir mine. Okay, let's try this.
Because you didn't hear it earlier.
My bad. I'm nervous about this one. Okay.
It's not horrible.
It's not horrible.
What I read on it was that it's an acquired taste, but once you acquire it, you'll love it.
I feel like yes, I agree with that, and I feel like my first initial sip was like, ooh, yeah. But now like the aftertaste, is really not super bad.
No, and I can see why they would give it to people that work outside in colonial New England, where it's cold.
This would be really nice
because it just warms you right up.
Yes, outside in cold weather, walking the streets, but like walking in a park or something.
Or driving a coach around.
Or that.
Yeah.
But I could see how this could really get you drunk, though.
Oh, yeah. Imagine driving around like a horse and carriage, just hammered on ale and eggs.
Could you... Ugh.
I wonder if the protein in the eggs keeps you from getting, like, if it gives it something to...
like, hold on to, I guess?
Yeah.
Maybe, because protein is supposed to be really good to help with hangovers, isn't it?
I have no idea. I would think it... I mean, everybody does something different, right? Some people do a greasy burger, some people do...
I do ibuprofen in water.
Well, yeah. That's kind of where I go. Either that or like electrolytes and ibuprofen is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Like I would think if you got electrolyte mixture, it's called Element, but it's just LMNT.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't remember what it was called.
Yeah. Element. If you're looking for a show to sponsor, we'd be glad to talk about you.
Yeah.
We've had you. We do cycle, so. Well, we haven't in a while, but
We
we
haven't in a
have
little
cycled.
bit. We haven't gone, I think, since before my last surgery.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. So, but this drink is really not bad.
No, it grows on you.
I was with the whole eggs thing
Yeah.
I think that's what worried me. But the flavor is actually really nice.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about the eggs being a sticking point for you is you love tiramisu, and it's literally a cake pan full of eggs.
Oh, I love tiramisu. So good. I wonder if we can make like a tiramisu drink. I'm sure you can.
I would think so.
Yeah, you'd have to look that up.
Yeah.
Oh, but fun fact.
The Yard of Flannel is very similar to a Scottish drink called a het pint, which is apparently Scottish for a hot pint.
Mm.
So a het pint, it's basically all the same ingredients, and it was served for the same purpose. It was, to knock the chill off.
In Scotland or Ireland?
Yes, in
Scotland.
Scotland.
Okay. If we had bagpipes, I'd play bagpipes right now.
Yeah, that's what bagpipes
Isn't
sound
that
like.
so good?
Yeah. It was super good. So a het pint, or literally translated hot pint, uses whiskey instead of rum, and that's the only difference. Everything else is exactly the same. You make it the same way. It's all the same. You were talking earlier about the fabric that holds the glasses together.
Yeah, because that's what it said that, the Yard of Flannel is a hot, spiced eggnog drink that gets its name from the viscous string that used to connect the vessels used to make it.
So the thing that I read that they were talking about is to make a head on top of it, because you basically stir all the carbonation out of the beer.
Mm-hmm.
So to get a head on it, you pour it back and forth between two glasses or two mugs. So the two vessels would be those mugs. So you'd pour it into one and then pour it back and forth to get the head.
So the mixing between the two cups gives it the head that it needs?
Not that it needs, but I guess it's a nicer presentation if it has a head on it.
Okay. And the eggs is what causes that?
Yes.
Oh.
But you'd think it would be the ale, because ale is fizzy, but there's a good chance the ale from the 17th century wasn't carbonated like ale today is.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably less carbonated. But, Old English ale was not cold to start with, and was lower alcohol.
Really?
Yeah, because ale was more for sterilization.
Like cleaning?
No, like they would make ale out of water, because the ale would have alcohol in it, which would kill bacteria in the water.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
That's at least a theory. I don't know how true that is. I think as long as there's been a reason, or at least a decent enough excuse to make alcohol, we've been making alcohol.
I was going to say, who doesn't love making alcohol? Like during what was that time?
Prohibition?
Yes. They did the moonshine and all that.
Yeah, and bathtub gin. That's a real thing.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Bathtub gin.
Yeah, you make it in a bathtub.
What do you make it out of?
Probably vodka.
What do you make moonshine out of?
Corn.
Like...
Traditionally, it's corn mash.
Corn mash?
Yeah.
Like actual corn. Like you eat the corn.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
You good?
I feel like the more I'm drinking it, the more I'm like, well, the more it's cooling down.
Yeah.
The more I'm like,
yeah.
Maybe it's not as good as it was. I preferred it warmer.
Yeah, I still don't mind it.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay, but I preferred it warmer.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
So, anyway, with moonshine, you mix it with water. You basically make a mush. You press the liquid out of that, and then you distill the liquid. You ferment it and then distill it. Mm-hmm. And then that's moonshine.
I've never made it. I've never attempted to, so I never really knew the process of it. It's pretty cool.
I've also not made moonshine.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I just
public. We want to get that out there. I don't make moonshine.
No, but we've seen the movie Lawless where they make moonshine. I mean, they don't show the process of it, but they made moonshine.
Yeah, is that the one with
Tom Hardy and Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
The three brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the other one?
I don't remember his name, but I know he played on Pet Sematary. Like the new Pet Sematary.
Never seen it.
You know what? I have this handy dandy Google right in front of me.
Yeah.
So let me see.
I don't really do horror movies.
Well,
so.
I was going to say this wasn't a horror movie. Okay,
Pet
Tom
Sematary
Hardy.
is.
Yes. Come on, show me the cast. Oh,
Show
his
me
name
the
is
money.
Jason Clarke. He was on Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Was he one of the monkeys?
No, he was one of the people.
Oh,
Like, it was the one where Caesar, like, the monkeys were ruling by that point. And then that's when the humans came in and started, like, with the whole pipes one. It was a pipes one, I think.
The one where they're trying to get the power back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was the main human.
Oh, okay.
But he was good in Lawless.
Yeah, that was kind of a crazy movie.
Yeah. Well, they tried to kill Forrest a couple times and he didn't
Just
die.
Would not die.
But then he died of pneumonia.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to go out,
spoiler.
you might as well go out with pneumonia.
Yeah. That was kind of a spoiler.
Yeah.
Whoops. I mean, it's based on a true story, so there's that.
We're going to talk a little bit about Scotland since the
yeah.
Yard of Flannel is also a drink there. And
your heritage.
it's where my family hailed from at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Many generations ago. I think at least 5 generations ago. They went to Canada.
Mm.
And then 3 generations ago from Canada to the U.S.
Okay.
So my grandfather came to the U.S.
In the New England area, though, right?
Yes, New York.
Yeah.
Which is not New England.
Well.
New England is the other northeastern states that aren't New York.
Well, you know.
Well, it's a matter of...
close.
Because New York was a Dutch colony. That's why it was originally New Amsterdam.
Mm.
So New York was Dutch, New England was English.
Oh, there you go.
So that's why it's not part of New England.
You learn something new every day, and here I've learned quite a bit of new stuff.
Yeah, in case anybody was wondering. We came from an island, which I'm looking at a map of right now, called South Uist.
That's where your family came from?
Yes, that's where my family came from.
In South Uist, Scotland?
Yes, it's the northern island area. Well, I guess, Scotland is northern, but it's off the west coast of Scotland, about even with Inverness.
Mm. You should put a map up on Instagram of Scotland then.
So we came from South Uist, which I think was fishing. I think it was fishing.
Ah, look at that. I found it. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
So we went from there to Nova Scotia. Which is fitting, because Nova Scotia, New Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they lived on Prince Edward Island at some point, and then maybe moved to Nova Scotia. I'm not entirely sure. I've heard bits and pieces over the years. And my dad has gone to great lengths describing where the family came from and how they got here and who was in it and all the names and, information overload kind of deal.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a lot to have to keep track of.
Yeah. But we came to Nova Scotia, and then from there, my grandfather moved to New York. And then my grandmother's from Massachusetts on my dad's side.
Oh, so he married an American girl.
I would assume if she's from Massachusetts. I don't know where that side of the family comes from.
I just flipped him off.
I know my side. I don't, I know the lineage, following the dad's side.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought this was from your
side.
Oh, I got it. It's following your dad's side, not your dad's mom's side.
Correct.
Got it.
I think my dad's mom's side was maybe fisherman. I think.
It'd be cool to have a nice
tree.
Yeah. We have one.
Yours is kind of all from the same place, so.
Well, yeah, but my grandpa, when I was younger, I remember he made one, and Like, he traced it back, I want to say, to, like, my dad should still have it, to, like, the 1700s at least, which was crazy. And then, like, when I looked at it, I was like, oh, look, there's me. I'm, like, one of the last few on the actual map, because I don't think the kids, I didn't have my kids yet, so they weren't on there yet.
Yeah, and your line dies with you.
Because I'm a girl?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well.
Well, I'm sure there's other people, cousins or whatnot.
Well, yeah, but...
that can carry on the family name.
Nope.
No?
No.
So, that's it. Your dad's the last of them.
I think so. I think, well, I mean, at least from what I'm aware of, because his cousin, Tim, his last name is not the same as mine.
No.
No. Who is my grandpa's, but it's my grandpa's sister.
Yeah.
And I think his brothers have passed away.
And didn't have kids.
I don't think so. One passed away when he was little. I mean, they may have had kids, but I don't know. I've never met them. I don't even know if my dad's met all of them. But
no, I've met first cousins of mine, and that's it. Like, I don't know any of my extended family.
Yeah, I know very little of my extended family. But I mean, in our little thing, because my dad had 2 girls, and then there was my aunt, and of course her last name changed. So that my 2 cousins, complete different last name.
Yeah.
So, it might die with my dad.
Yeah. I've done my duty to carry on our name, so.
Yeah, you have. You have.
I don't know that my progeny will carry on my name, but I did.
Why do you say that?
Well, he may not have kids.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I told him that he needs to start having kids.
Yeah. But, my brother's got 1 son, so.
Yes.
There's an opportunity. And then my sister has a son.
Yeah. And there's another name.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's possible that the name will continue. It's possible that it will not.
Well, it stops with you and me.
Well, yeah.
But, I mean, my name stops with me.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of sad to think about.
Yeah.
You want to take over my last name?
No.
Why not?
Wouldn't do any good anyway.
So? Oh, no, it wouldn't do it.
No.
Well, I tried. That didn't really work out.
No.
But you said Nova Scotia?
Yeah, Nova Scotia.
Where's Nova Scotia?
Do you know the movie Anne of Green Gables?
Yes.
It is filmed in Prince Edward Island, which is part of Nova Scotia. So it is East Coast, kind of east of Maine.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I do love Anne of Green Gables. I want to buy the movie set at some point. Not movie set, the
box set.
Yes.
My dad used to talk about going, I think they would go to Maine, like northern Maine somewhere, and then take a ferry from Maine over to Nova Scotia.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've only had like half a cup of this because there was a lot of head, and I'm not on an empty stomach. I feel the alcohol already.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how people drank pints of this. Pints? No.
Yards.
Yeah. Yard of flannel. Like, I don't know how people drank that much of this.
I would imagine that the ale was lower alcohol, and they probably drank a lot more than we do. If I had to guess. Like, they probably drank a lot.
Probably.
Plus, if you think it's what's keeping you alive in the cold New England winter.
I mean, yeah, drink it.
You may be more inclined to be able to handle it.
Well, because, I mean, now, we have the cars with the heat and everything, whereas when you were a coachman, you did not know. You were out in the elements and the weather, having to deal with all of that.
Yeah, there was no defrost or...
No.
You just were cold.
Yeah.
I wonder if coaches, like for rich people, I wonder if they had coal heaters or something in them.
I don't know. You gonna look that up now?
Yeah, because I wonder if rich people don't like to be cold, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, they probably bundled up with all their furs and everything, too.
That's true, and they're probably used to a colder environment anyway, because even with, heating their houses, it still was probably pretty brisk in there.
Well, yeah, because it was probably only warm around the fireplaces, because there was no really way to heat up the rest of the house.
According to Google, there were generally no built-in heaters in coaches. in the 1800s. So they just had to bundle up.
Yeah. But I mean, even like on the inside, if you're bundled up on the inside, you don't have, I mean, but did the windows, like, did they have glass or was it just curtains?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they had glass.
Had glass?
Yeah.
So I mean, still bundling up in that, you were definitely warmer than the frickin' coachman who was driving it.
I think if I was the coachman, I'd build a little room on the coach to stay warm.
My luck is if I did that with like glass or something,
It would like frost
it would
over.
it would like fog up and I'd be like trying to like clear
like windshield wiper on a string.
That's how windshield wipers were invented. Actually, I have no idea. Probably not. But that would be funny. It's like where they're just like trying to clear it up.
Yeah.
I already have sometimes a hard enough time fucking clearing up my car windows. And I'm like, ah.
So, yeah, that's basically what I know of my heritage is we started in Scotland, moved to Nova Scotia, moved to
New York,
spread out from there.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah. And now if you're in the U.S. and you have the same last name as me, we're related. Somehow. Yeah.
I remember you telling me that. You're like, yeah, if they have this last name, or if they have my last name, then I'm related to them. Somehow I am. I'm like, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. There are a couple different versions of my last name.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the people that came to the U.S. did not read or write. So they said their name, and then the person at Ellis Island or wherever they came in through wrote it down however they thought it was spelled because they didn't know. They didn't know how to spell it because they didn't read or write.
How weird.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though, that your family came in like through Ellis Island and stuff.
Well, I don't know that mine came through Ellis Island because they came to Nova Scotia. So.
Oh. Well, but then Ellis Island is in New York.
Yeah.
So maybe.
You think they came into New York and then we're like, yeah, it's not cold enough here. Let's keep going.
Yeah. And then went to Ellis Island.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah. No, so this is what they did. What they did is they came from Nova Scotia into New York. Like, they came up top.
From Scotland? Oh, you think they were in Nova Scotia and then they came down back into Ellis Island and...
Let me finish my thought. So what they did is they were in Nova Scotia. They went up through Canada, Quebec, Ottawa, Kingston, came on down into New York, right? And then they went to Ellis Island.
So they were already on the mainland.
They were already on the mainland.
They like took a ferry out around and then came back in.
Yes, because they went, no, it's not official until we go through
until you go through the island.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if you hit the threshold or the top of the door before you walk through, it doesn't count unless you do it every time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but that would be funny, though, if they did that. It's like, it doesn't count. We have to go through Ellis Island first.
Well, I want to say my grandfather would have come here in his 20s, probably. Mm-hmm. That would be my guess. And...
what year do you think that would make it?
Probably the 40s. Because my dad was born in the 50s.
Yeah, I was, like, doing the math, and I'm like,
he's, like, in the middle somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he was early 50s.
Yeah.
So maybe late 30s or 40s.
That's cool.
Would be my guess.
When he came over?
When he came down from Nova Scotia.
So do you know what brought them to the States?
I don't. I know that I think my grandfather played hockey in Canada. Mm-hmm. But when he came here, he did construction, so.
Yeah. But it just makes me wonder, like, what brought him from Scotland to Nova Scotia?
You mean from Nova Scotia to the U.S.?
Well, wasn't he from Scotland?
My grandfather?
Yeah.
No, he was from Nova Scotia. His grandfather was from Scotland.
Oh, got it. Well, I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, so
Maybe.
What brought your grandpa here was probably the hockey, right?
No, I think he was done with hockey by the time he came here. I don't know the whole story behind the hockey. I've just been told that he played hockey.
I've never played hockey.
I played floor hockey.
What's floor hockey?
It's like ice hockey, but no skates, and you play it on a floor with a ball.
Oh.
But you basically play it in a gym, like on a basketball court sized gym.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played hockey. I've never ice skated.
When I was in middle school, we had 24-hour hockey tournament every year, and it was literally 24 hours of hockey. And it would be like, a dozen teams or more, and then you would just play like a double elimination tournament until there was one team left.
So, did you have to stay there the whole 24 hours?
Yeah.
Did you just sleep there?
Yeah.
Where are your parents?
I would assume at home.
Huh.
It's like a lock-in.
Oh, okay.
I guess.
I don't know. That just sounds really interesting. To stay at school for 24 hours.
You never did a lock-in?
Nope.
They do them a lot here.
Yeah, I know. They literally just did one, I think, with the senior band kids.
Yeah.
They did one, I think.
Keeps them out of trouble,
It's supposed to.
It's supposed to. There's no way that works. If you lock a bunch of high school kids anywhere.
I mean, to be fair, I do think that there were parent
there's
volunteers.
chaperones and
Yeah.
stuff,
But I mean, you can only... No, thank you. That's not something I would volunteer for.
I smoked on school trips without chaperones ever catching me.
Really?
Yeah.
See, you're a bad kid. I wasn't a bad kid.
No, I was a good kid.
Smoking?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I never did that.
Well, I should have never did that, but I didn't.
Should have never did it?
No.
Never should have did it? Oh, that was really bad. Never.
I should have never did it.
Oh, you're hurting my brain. You never should have done it.
No, I should have never did it.
No,
Yeah.
I feel like you're contradicting yourself.
No, I should never have started smoking.
You should have never done it. But you've stopped now, so that's good.
Yeah, I haven't smoked in a long time.
Couple years.
More than a couple.
More than a couple? I thought you just recently quit.
Like 5 years ago.
We've been together for almost 4, right?
Yeah.
Why was I thinking it was only like 2 years ago?
Because you have no concept of time. No, I quit.
It was like 2019. That is 5 years ago.
Yeah, 2019. I think.
I knew it was 2019 because I remember you telling me that. But for some reason in my mind, that's only a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That's not 5 years ago. 2019 is only a couple years ago.
Well, that's fine because 1980 was 20 years ago.
I agree.
So.
It is. That's how I think it. The 70s is 30 years ago.
Yeah.
The 80s is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Not 40 years ago.
Right.
It's 20. I like that.
I saw a thing today that said the best way to recover from hiking injuries is to not have a birthday that begins with 19. It's like, you bastards.
Well, once, what was it? It was in 2021, I think, when they're like, we have reached that age where if they look at your ID buying something for alcohol or something and they see the 19, they know you're old enough. Period.
Yeah.
Like, ouch.
Yep,
Like,
you're good.
You're good because that means you're over 21 automatically. And that was 2021, right?
Yeah.
Because that's when the kids who were born in 2000 turned 21.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you were born in 99, you were definitely old enough.
Yeah, because born in the 1900s.
Yeah. I like to say I was born in the late 1900s.
I don't like to say that.
I do. I work with a lot of people that are way younger than me.
I have a few
I'm the
people
old
younger
guy.
than me.
I'm like in a weird middle spot because it's all people that have been there since the place opened, practically, and people that just started.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you are that, like, middle age.
Because I moved from the other plant over to this one, so it's like I've been there a long time, but not there.
Yeah, with the company.
Yeah. So I'm a new guy, but I'm like in that middle, which I was at the last plant too, because I started. I think I was 30 when I started there.
Yeah. Well, like where I work, I want to say we may have one person in their 20s. I'm not sure how old she is, but I want to say she's in her late 20s.
So you're guessing.
I'm guessing.
So she could be 40.
No.
But she could be.
Well, I know she's not.
Or she could be in her early 20s.
No, I don't know, because she just had her kid.
Okay.
She had her second child.
Yeah.
So.
And when did you have your second child?
21.
Yeah. So that's not a valid reason she can't be in her early 20s.
That's true. I don't know how old she is. I honestly don't. But I would say she's the one who's in her, because I've heard some of the other ages. I think she's the only one who's possibly in her 20s. And I think everybody else is at least 30 and up.
Yeah.
At least. There's a few of them that are around my age, maybe a little bit younger than me. And then there's a few that are older. But
I think everyone I work with is in their 20s or early 30s.
So you're the senior of the group.
Oh, yeah, I'm the old guy.
Yeah.
For sure. Like the other old guys that are my age are like in supervisory roles, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I would not want to be in a supervisory role.
Nope, I have no desire to have it. Well, I don't want a desk job.
No.
And then I also don't want to be in charge.
No, because sometimes being in charge can be so stressful on your life and just all in general.
It's just not worth it to me for the small amount of a pay bump to take on that much extra responsibility.
Well, and then even at home, you'd have to have your phone available at all times, probably.
Which is not going to happen.
No.
I literally, most of the time, leave my phone in my locker at work.
Like, with my manager, she has to be available almost all the time. Because if somebody calls out or something, they need to be able to get a hold of her, so she needs to get a hold of, other people to possibly cover and all this stuff. So I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Good. Because I like to be able to just leave my phone and not have to worry about anybody texting me.
Yeah, same. Which I do.
I know.
If anybody, unless they have my personal number, which nobody I work with has my personal number, they will not reach me.
No, nothing wrong with that. It's a good way to leave work at work and not bring it home.
Yeah, because I work for the money that it gives me, not for... Because I love working so much. I'd retire today if I had the money to do it.
So hard for it, honey. He works for the money, so you better treat him right.
People like to say they love their jobs, and I love my job.
Yes.
But if they didn't pay me to do it, I'd stop going.
Me too.
So that's how I look at it. I'm in it for the money. It finances the things I like to do.
Hiking, biking, kayaking, 3D printing, podcasting.
Yeah, painting, drawing, whatever.
Yes, because we are very crafty people.
So I work for that. I'm not my job.
Yeah. No, that's good. I think it's good to have that separation.
Yeah.
I think it's really good.
Now, if we get real famous for podcasting, then I might consider myself a podcaster.
And that's our job. We podcast.
Yeah. So you guys spread the word. You got to get out there. Share the episode. Leave comments.
Like us. Rate us.
Yeah, if you can rate us on Spotify or Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, wherever you're listening.
We're everywhere.
Yeah, we're basically everywhere. Rating and reviewing really helps.
Yep. And sharing. Sharing's a big one, too.
I don't expect anybody to share. I don't like sharing things. If you're inclined to, go for it. Don't feel obligated. But rate and review.
No, feel obligated.
If you rate and review, I'd be happy with that.
Yes. Rate and review, definitely a good thing. All right, guys. I think we're going to call it good for today. You can find us on all the socials. Rate and review. What all socials do we have, Joe?
All right. We have Facebook. We have Instagram. We got TikTok, YouTube, Blue Sky.
All right, guys. So we are Drinks with Danny and Joe. Feel free to comment, review, share. Please like us. And yeah, we'll see you at next episode. Bye.